here's why an altcoin season is actually closer than we think. Now, this might not be a full-blown altcoin season where we see the Bitcoin dominance coming down, but we could actually see the altcoins chart right here, like we saw in the last Iranian-Israel conflict, actually pump 100%. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin right here. These two charts, very, very important. We're also going to be having a look at this altcoin season chart. We're going to be having a look at interest rate. There's big news coming up this week regarding interest rate. The federal decision is supposed to be happening on the 18th. We know that altcoins usually perform very, very well when interest rates are low. But before we have a look at that, guys, if you guys deposit $5,000 in BYDFI, my link will be in the description below right there. You could actually get $1,000 for free or $1,000 bonus right here. This thing does end in about 10 days from now. So make sure you guys click in the link in the description below right now. And if you guys do like these videos, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, leave a like, turn the notification bells on so you guys never miss a video. So that's what's happening right here. Starting off with the altcoin season chart real quick. It's clearly Bitcoin season. You guys can see we've been in Bitcoin season right here since March 2025 for a few months now. Currently sitting at 22. If we have a look at the altcoin year chart, altcoin year index, we're currently sitting at 27. So we're pretty far away from a major altcoin season. The last time we had an altcoin season was actually at the beginning of 2022 and of 2021. And that was pretty much after COVID, obviously. And we had another one during COVID. You guys can see right here in 2020. That was when COVID interest rate went down. Now, why is interest rate important? Well, you guys can see that the federal interest rate right now currently sitting at 4.5%. We know historically that when interest rates are high, people are not going to essentially take loans and invest into altcoins, right? When interest rate go low and they go near zero, people are going to essentially borrow money, especially the whales or, maybe even institutions. And they'll be like, you know what? We're going to essentially take money. We're going to take a massive loan. We're going to put that into Ethereum. We're going to put that into PayPay. We're going to go ahead and put that into XRP. Cryptos that are not necessarily risky, but they're not like a $200 million markup. They're like multi-billion dollars. Okay. So, and what's going to happen after that? People who are going to see that Bitcoin is not pumping anymore, they're going to essentially take their gains from Bitcoin and move them into the altcoins. That's what an altcoin season is. And you guys can see if you actually scroll down, if 75% of the top 50 coins perform better than Bitcoin over the last 90 days, it is an altcoin season. Excluded from the top 50 are stable coins, Tether, DI, and of course WTC, WSTH, C-Link, etc. So we need to see interest rate go down. Now, the interest rate decision will be happening in about 3 days from now. So this is why it's very, very important to keep an eye. Will they finally bring down the interest rate? If so, that could be the start of an altcoin season. Now, like I said, if we go back to this chart right here on the total, the last time there was a conflict between Iran and Israel, the altcoins essentially started to pump. So this is why we're going to have to keep an eye not only on this, on what's going to happen and how the situation in the Middle East is developing, but we're also going to need to pay attention to the interest rate, inflation data, and etc. Now, obviously, we do have a higher low or lower high, I guess you could say right here. You guys can see we did make a lower high, which is technically and theoretically a bearish pattern. Okay, so until we break that pattern right here and we essentially break the structure right here, which is $1.14 trillion, I don't see an altcoin season happening anytime soon. It seems like we do want to come back and retest $722 billion. Keep in mind, guys, that these chart that we're looking and having a look at right here, it's their chart that are excluding Bitcoin and excluding Ethereum. So this is a total market cap of like XRP, of BNB, etc. in the top 10, top 20, top 30, anything that's not in the top 2 essentially, and that's about it. Having a look at the king, guys, we need to have a look at Bitcoin because Bitcoin's king, Bitcoin's the leader. We know that, there's no question. Bitcoin is staying above the 50 moving average right here. It looks like we're most likely going to come back down and retest the 50 moving average right here. You guys can see we did have a nice golden cross on the daily time frame, and we've been trending above the 200 moving average since April 21st, 2025, which is pretty good. Now, this is the chart I really want to have a look at on the 3-day time frame. You guys can see that we do have a resistance right here. Obviously, I mean, there's no question we have a resistance right here. We have a support right here. What happened when we broke the breakage structure? We essentially came down to test $75,000 after peaking to as high as $109,000. The same thing is happening right now. We have a resistance, we have a support. If this breaks, that will be a break of structure and we're most likely going to essentially come back down. The big question is, how low are we going to go? Right? Can this essentially be a nice little broadening wedge? If this is a broadening wedge, we could actually see, Bitcoin coming back down to as low as $70,000. if this is a rising or broadening wedge, whatever you guys want to call it, before seeing that ultimate breakout to essentially the upside. Okay, so we're gonna have to see what happens here. If we do break this level right here, as you guys can see, we're most likely gonna come back down and retest. Something else that I want to talk about, guys, is this area right here. You guys can see that the last time we essentially broke below this moving average and we crossed, the blue crossed over the orange, below the orange, you guys can see what happened on the MACD. We became red. What happened when we became red? Bitcoin took it all the way from $109,000 to as low as $77,000. The same thing is exactly happening right here. Bitcoin is currently sitting right now at 100, or was sitting at $110,000. We're seeing right now the MACD slowly flipping red. Okay, and we are seeing the moving average flipping below the orange, which is obviously a bearish sign. Can this be the start of a nice little bearish trend? We're gonna have to see. It looks like Bitcoin is losing some steam. Bitcoin is losing some momentum right here. We're gonna have to see if this structure will be broken, and pretty much that's about it. If you guys do like this video, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, leave a like, and I will see you guys in my next video tomorrow.